taken what I said.
You see what, where he's mentioning, where about the institute.
But I
mean, but I said, no, Joe, just,
All right.
well, that's no problem.
Okay.
People here for your meeting.
I thought I
You corrected it.
I heard parts of it.
Good testing.
This is the Williamson County Board of Commissioners meeting. It's February 9th at 10 a.m. Roll call, please.
Jim Marlowe.
Present.
Brent Gentry.
Present.
Tim Atkinson.
Present.
At this time, I'd ask everyone to rise and repeat the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Frank, would you go, please?
So Lord, we thank you for this opportunity together today. Lord, we pray that you'll watch over this board and do the right things for this county. Lord, we pray that you'll be with our country and everything going on, Lord, and get everything settled down. Give our troops overseas and say, fight for our freedom and bring us back here and we'll basically pray. Amen.
Moving on to the first call would be the Highway Department. Travis, you have, can you talk to us about the resolution to transfer the motor fuel tax fund?
Okay. So, that's the transfer over the county, from county highway to county unit to help pay for the future oil and chip program that we're going to be doing this summer.
Go to the extra.
You want me to go on that?
Yeah, on the extra. That way, this camera's on, in this meeting, it's on anyway.
So that resolution is to transfer the money from the county highway account to the county unit so that we can help pay for the oil and chip program. And that brings us to the next resolution, which is the resolution to approve our bid items from this one here, guys. To approve the,
We want to go ahead and do the first one, resolution transfer.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that first.
okay, which one?
The very first one.
Okay, I got
The
you.
resolution to transfer motor fuel tax funds.
Okay, I'll make a motion to, the resolution to transfer funds for 21020912, resolution number.
I'll second. Go ahead.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah.
Brent Gentry.
Yeah.
Tim Atkinson.
So,
Sorry about that, guys.
Okay.
First set of resolutions for you guys. Okay, so the next one is this one here.
That was.
So this reflects, we recently held a levy for our FY 21 maintenance for the county, Union County, and these are the bids we received. They were very good bids, by the way, cheaper, a little cheaper than last year. So, and so we'll be using this money throughout the year to do oil and chip work and to buy rock and things like that to maintain the highway.
so that's the,
Is that the material acceptance?
It is, yes.
That's the bottom one.
okay. I will make a motion to do the 2021 material acceptance resolution, and it is number
21020923.
Oh, there, it's right there.
Yeah.
Correct. Motion.
Second.
Second.
Tim Atkinson.
Yeah.
Brent Gentry.
Yeah.
Jim Marlowe.
Yes.
Okay, and then there are three that look very similar. The first one is a resolution. These are all amended resolutions. The first one is for Crenshaw Road, which is already constructed, and it was originally going to be paid for out of motor fuel tax money. And so this is an amended resolution to pay for it out of RBI bond funds. Okay, so the reason we're doing this is because when RBI bond funds come available, they basically told us how we had to spend them. And so we can go back to July of 19 and use those monies to pay for the federal match on those jobs. And then that leaves the money in the account that we can spend any way we want. So basically, it's an accounting trick. I should say a trick, it's a county move to reallocate those funds from the county highway tax to bond money for Crenshaw Road.
So it's a motion to accept the resolution, number 21020915 for Crenshaw Road.
Second.
Jim Marlowe?
Yeah.
Brent Gentry?
Yay.
Jim Atkinson?
Okay, the next one is the exact same deal, an amended resolution, except this one is for a project on Spillway and Grassy Road that has already been built for $140,000.
Okay. Motion to accept that resolution 21020914.
Second.
Jim Marlowe?
Yeah.
Brent Gentry?
Yay.
Jim Atkinson?
And the last one is again the same thing, except this one is it's a structure on County Highway 25, 100-3012 for $100,000.
Yeah. And I don't have the street name listed on here, but this is, no, I mean, on the resolution, I don't see it, but it doesn't matter.
It's
Right there.
County Highway 25, FAS 1900.
It's over now.
It's not on the first box, right?
It's over here on the right.
It's over here on the right.
Instead of being on there.
Little Wolf Creek.
Yeah, that's fine.
Little Wolf Creek.
Next time we turn
There she's got it, okay.
Okay. Little Wolf Creek then. Okay, 21020913. Make motion accept.
Second.
Jim Marlowe?
Yeah.
Brent Gentry?
Yeah.
Jim Atkinson?
Next time I'll get with Jamie, get the resolutions that's already on there. Please don't have the resolution.
No problem.
That's why I was confused. All right, guys, I appreciate it.
All right, buddy.
Thanks.
So you got the crew out 3:30 this morning. Looks like you did good. 'Cause
Yeah.
Aaron Harville's stayed open.
Yeah, I called them out about 2:30 and they got there about 3:30, got everything going. So we got material on all the major asphalt roads before the school buses started running. So some of them didn't run. And we've been working on secondaries now, and getting ready for another round tomorrow night, so.
I was talking with Jim Webb the other day, and he said that it's a good possibility we can get some more of that cinder.
Yeah, I asked him not too long ago, and he said he was gonna try to do another run,
Yeah,
and we'll get everything we can get it, because once that's gone, it's gone.
yeah.
And we're thinking ahead right now what we're gonna do when the cinders do run out. So we're thinking probably if they 22 turkey grid, start to get ready for that.
Blend it, have a blend.
Blend it with the salt, just like we do with the grid, yeah, with the power plant.
So what type of weather are we supposed to get tomorrow? You know?
Well, I was talking to Kelly with EMA and watching the weather, and it looks like ice and snow after midnight tonight, so. I'd
So
say
you basically about the same type.
yeah, about the same deal. So I'll get out about midnight, probably start driving. Hopefully I get some sleep tonight before then, so.
You better go home and go to sleep now, so you can be ready by midnight tonight.
Well, I gotta go get ready for this meeting with Jim tomorrow, so.
No, that's no big deal.
No, it's not a big deal, so. All right, guys, I
All right.
appreciate it.
Okay.
Holler if you need anything.
Okay.
Take care, man.
No.
All right, under old business, we have the debt management policy. Brandon, you looked over this?
I did.
Do you have anything that you want to talk about on this?
No, not specifically. I think we were, a few meetings back, we kind of went through the, kind of, and where'd it go? Sorry, I got.
Everything kind
Here they are.
of big stuff.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. And really, I kind of went through some of the statutes here just to kind of verify some of the, like the debt limit percentage and et cetera. And I didn't see anything out of the ordinary, and really everything was pretty straightforward. So
Okay.
no issues on my end.
All right. Then if that's good with you, then all we need is a motion for.
I make a motion to accept ordinance 21020901, debt management policy.
Second.
Jim Marlowe?
Yes.
Brent Gentry?
Yeah.
Jim Atkinson?
The next would be the fund balance policy. These are, this is a policy establishing fund balances and goals is really what this is. It kind of helps give us guidance as a county to try to maintain minimum balances in certain goals, establishing certain goals throughout the year as the years roll on. I do know that certain bond agencies like to see that we have these balances established. More or less indicates that we have a good grasp on our spending and everything within our county. I assume the only question I got on this is, I know it was last meeting, we talked about the balance, the numbers for the funds, different funds and everything. Were we good with the numbers that we came up with?
I think we went to months, didn't we?
To what, Jan?
Periods of time, not dollar amounts, but we went to months.
Yeah, it's like on policy paragraph B,
Right.
I think, yeah, it was all a month. And then there's a couple, like the jail reserve and capital improvement were
Correct.
cash minimums.
Well, no, I think that was because year-over-year expenditures change in some of those funds.
So is everybody good with what we have here then? I've also run this by Rhett just to make sure if this would cause us any issues down the road as far as contract negotiating. I said I was going to do
Right,
that.
and labor issues,
Yeah,
certainly,
labor
yeah.
issues, and he said, no, that'd be fine. So,
I'll make a motion. You asked me for a motion?
yeah.
I'll make a motion
Ready.
to accept ordinance number 21020902, fund balance and reserve policy.
Second.
Jim Marlowe,
Yeah.
Gordon Gentry,
Yay.
Tim Atkinson.
Yeah.
Okay. Tim, would you like to read the minutes of the last month, accept the minutes of the last month?
Okay, which one is this?
That would be, we need to,
This right?
make a motion.
Okay.
to accept.
Make the motion to accept December 18th, 2020 minutes.
Second.
Jim Marlowe,
Yay.
Gordon Gentry,
Yay.
Tim Atkinson.
Yeah. Make a motion to accept January 5th, 2021 minutes.
Second.
Jim Marlowe,
Yay.
Gordon Gentry,
Yay.
Tim Atkinson.
Yeah. Make a motion to accept January 12th, 2021 minutes.
Second.
Jim Marlowe,
Yay.
Gordon Gentry,
Yay.
Tim Atkinson.
Yeah. Make a motion to accept January 15th, 2021 minutes.
Second.
Jim Marlowe,
Yay.
Gordon Gentry,
Yay.
Tim Atkinson.
Yeah. Make a motion to accept January 28th, 2021 minutes.
Second.
Jim Marlowe,
Yay.
Gordon Gentry,
Yay.
Tim Atkinson.
Yeah. Make a motion to accept February 3rd, 2021 minutes.
Second.
Jim Marlowe,
Yay.
Gordon Gentry,
Yay.
Tim Atkinson.
I'd like to read and accept the following reports: the Williamson County Clerk Vital Records, the Williamson County Clerk Fees Account, the Williamson County Clerk Real Estate Trust Account, the Williamson County Clerk Mobile Home Trust, and the Williamson County General Fund for January 2021. I'd like to accept those reports.
Need a motion for this now.
Okay, so, looking through the pages.
All right, the designated depository under resolutions. Nancy's not here to explain this, but I believe what this is Malcolm's actually got duly appointed Williamson County Treasurer and requests that the Williamson County Board of Commissioners designate the depositories of the monies received by Treasurer acting in his official duties. So now therefore be it resolved by the Williamson County Board of Commissioners that the following financial institutions be and are hereby designated to be the depositories of public funds and monies of Williamson County, Illinois. I'll read them real quick. Banterra Bank, Farmer State Bank, U.S. Bank, Allegiance Bank, Bank of Heron, Southern Illinois Bank, People's National Bank, First Southern Bank, Fifth Third Bank, First Mid Illinois Bank and Trust, Murphy Wall State Bank, Regions Bank, Southern Trust Bank, Bank of Carbondale, and SIU Credit Union. So we just need a motion to accept this resolution identifying these institutions.
I make a motion to accept 21020916 designated depositories.
I'll second.
Jim Marlowe,
Yay.
Gordon Gentry,
Yay.
Tim Atkinson.
Yeah.
Okay, now we have a self-new owner.
You know, we did.
Yeah, you want? Go ahead.
A motion to accept self-new owner Robert E. Buffington, 01-22-463-006.
Second.
Jim Marlowe,
Yay.
Roy Gentry, Jim Atkinson,
Okay. Self-new owner Pamela Jean Hoffman, motion to accept 01-24-462-011.
Second.
Jim Marlowe,
Yay.
Roy Gentry, Jim Atkinson,
Okay. Motion to accept self-new owner Pamela Jean Hoffman, 01-24-462-012.
Second.
Jim Marlowe,
Yay.
Roy Gentry,
Yay.
Jim Atkinson.
Okay, next we have the 13th Amendment to an ordinance known and designated as the liquor license and control ordinance in the county of Williamson. What this is a new bar you open up down by the Lake of Egypt. Brandon, this is what we discussed before. The bar owner down there that owns the building has walled off and made two different partitions. I checked with the Illinois Liquor Commission. Their main thing was to have two separate addresses, and it'll be fine. And so they came in. I think they passed all their fingerprinting and the background check. They have your approval.
Yes.
They're wanting a Class A license, so that means that we would have 19 issued. So we just need a motion to accept this resolution.
I make a motion to accept resolution number 21-02-0924.
Second.
Jim Marlowe,
Yeah.
Roy Gentry,
Yay.
Jim Atkinson.
Okay.
It'll be El Rancherito, by the way.
This is at Knox Arena.
Yeah.
Part of it's gonna be a El Rancho.
El Rancherito down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Okay, the next item is ordinance to add territory to the Williamson County Enterprise Zone. And let me make sure. This may be two different parcels. Yes, we have two different, actually it's three different parcels. One is in the city of Marion. The other two are in the county, north of Johnson City off of Illinois Steel Road. That border Interstate 57. That's where a proposed RV supply store, sales and camping area will be going in. Everything has been approved by the enterprise zone. It's just going before all the different taxing bodies. So I just need a motion to accept ordinance to approving the addition to the territory to the enterprise zone.
Make a motion to accept ordinance 21-02-0903.
Second.
Jim Marlowe,
Yay.
Roy Gentry,
Yay.
Jim Atkinson.
Okay. There's some appointments here. Okay. First one is for the Williamson County Mental Health 708 Board appointment. Have a letter from Michelle Hamilton, Chairman. Says, I'm writing this letter on behalf of the 708 Board to request the reappointment of Carol Zwick and Jim Parker to the 708 Board. Their term, doesn't say when their term's expired.
December 31st of 25.
Does it say it on there?
Yeah.
Resolution.
Let's see the housing authority one.
Their current expiration, you mean? Or,
Oh, when it expires now, I mean,
right.
Oh,
Still
here it is.
last
I passed it up. Okay. Yeah, for another, the reappointed for another 4-year term commencing on today's date due to expire December 31st of 2025. Yeah.
Make a motion to accept resolution number 21-02-0920.
second.
Jim Marlowe,
Yeah.
Roy Gentry,
Yay.
Jim Atkinson.
Okay, next is a board appointment to the Williamson County Housing Authority.
we have a vacancy due to the expiration of T. Miller and Alice Stevers. Okay, so they're going to be both be reappointed to serve another 5-year term commencing on today's date due to expire February 1st, 2026.
That's good news on Steve. Alice is a tenant, but Steve's thinking about not getting back on again, so I talked to him a couple weeks ago, I guess he's gonna do it. He was one of the first ones to come along after all that debacle. He's good. I'll make that motion, probably, resolution 21-02-09-21.
Second.
Jim Marlowe?
Yes.
Ray Gentry?
Okay.
Jim Matheson?
We have an appointment to the Franklin County, Lake County Health Board appointment. Alice Stevers, term expired April 30th.
No.
No.
Cook County Health Board, this is the,
This is by the health department?
yeah, this,
Billy Ron.
well, Brave, Dr. Brave chose not to come back on the board. So we had to find another doctor like her, so we brought him one.
Okay, Billy Loon,
Yeah.
is that how you say it?
Yeah, then he bought, you, like this is Tuesday, what's the, just on, you bought this,
Oh, oral surgeon.
you bought this, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so, we're appointing, Billy Luan II to serve a 3-year term commencing on June 15th of 2020 and due to expire June 30th of 2023. So we're a little behind on this one, but we're gonna put him right in there.
Several meetings, and I'll make them, well, I'm on the board, go ahead, Ken.
I'll make a motion to accept resolution number 21-02-09-25.
I'll second.
Jim Marlowe?
Yeah.
Ray Gentry?
Yeah.
Jim Matheson?
We don't have a Devil's Kitchen Water Board, for his, appointment. Let's see here. Richard Pizzoni's term, has expired and they're wanting to reappoint Richard Pizzoni, to serve another 5-year term commencing on today's date due to expire February 1st of 2026.
How do you spell Mr. Pizzoni's name?
Well, I don't want to story on that, it changed it. It was P-I-S-O-N-I, his father passed away.
Mhm.
And then his son decided to change his last name.
Okay,
Pizzoni. I'm not going into detail, but you know, it's kind of weird.
so then this resolution is correct?
It's PAS
He
now.
changed it
Okay,
legally.
you need a motion, but.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to accept resolution number 21-02-09-22.
Second. Everybody.
I'll second.
Jim Marlowe?
Yay.
You guys can
Gentry?
vote on this one.
Yeah, we
Jim Matheson?
just lived a second. We just lived that.
That's the guy that we met down there at, that one party together. We went to meet that one individual.
Yeah,
He happened to walk in and he was, that was who.
Yeah.
This guy was, so.
well, I saw that and I thought, now hold on here.
That's Richard Boyd that he changed.
Hey, what happened?
I've talked to him on the phone and never really met him until that day.
He's a good dude. He's a big hunter. He hunts a lot. Yeah.
Other than that,
We have somebody coming in.
uh,
Are you going to extend the meeting for us?
the meeting will now be closed.
Definitely.
Yeah, we got this. We got
Enterprise zone map,
this. Yeah.
they are connected, you just can't really see them that well on the map.
The ones we just did.
The one area we talked about,
Oh. Yeah, okay.
Now, well, we can send that to you in digital format, if you blow that up, you can see the connected lines, that whole strip and stuff on that.
Okay, all right.
And then we've got another issue that we're gonna have to run through Brandon and the county clerk. It has to do with benefits. You got a piece of property it's 2 pieces, one's in the TIF, one's in the enterprise zone. Well, they're both in the enterprise zone. Part of the top one is in the TIF, the top parcel. We're getting ready to build a building. You can get enterprise zone benefits for the sales tax and no building permit. You can't get real estate if you have a TIF that overrides it. no real estate tax benefits. It's up in 2 years. He'd had 3 years left for enterprise zone.
Which
He's
one is
not
that?
getting any TIF benefits, so it's north out there by the hospital.
Okay,
It's just north of the hospital, but in that same area, next to the condos. They're putting this building up, well, we have to make a determination. I tried to apply to the state. They sent me back an email that said it's up to the county clerk and basically the county on what we want to do on that. So that's going to be a meeting that we may have the new person take a look at, but something that the board and the county clerk and myself will get together and decide how we want to handle that. Do we give them the last 3 years' worth? Do we say no benefits at all on that north piece that's in the TIF? So there's a couple options there that they said the city of Marion's not getting any money. They don't want any money from TIF. They just prefer the whole enterprise zone benefit.
Mhm.
The law's pretty specific on that we're not supposed to, if the TIF's there, it overrides
Right.
enterprise. So,
and we've dealt with that before. I
and
feel
then
like.
it splits the building almost in half, yeah. So we're gonna have to figure that out already for the part that's in the enterprise zone. So there's some issues to go on with that, so. And one time, now, that's the original TIF, so it has extension, so it's gonna reach in 2 years, at 35 years, it's done. Claire had talked about maybe taking that, going and taking it out, so that they could get the whole 5 years, the
Oh, yeah.
enterprise zone, just, but then that would, the width of the strip has to be wider than the enterprise zone, and they would lose on the rest of the stuff, it keeps going west, and of course, they're gonna want money for the last 2 years on that property. So anyway, they haven't said anything more about that, so there's some issues on that we're gonna have to get together and figure out. But we got time. I told them to go ahead and start building because abatement for enterprise zone and real estate tax abatement, it's not gonna happen for at least another year before we have to make that decision to the building gets built. And I've already went over some of this with Jim and Tim, so on that, so that's what's going on there. So that's all I got on that. And then, did you bring them up on, hopefully by next meeting or so, we'll be able to take care of the building permit deal. He took a look at that, got that about ready to go, so
Good deal.
we may get a couple fine refinements and then we'll get that up and going.
Yeah.
Because it's time to start building.
Give it a couple more
But
days.
you know what? At least get that up and going so we have a chance. So that's all I have to go with. So, appreciate it.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks for nothing, Jeff. Answer that one, as
Well,
usual.
let me know if you want the map sent to you
Okay.
electronically, or we can make another one, whatever you want.
Yeah, so to make that one for me then, or is that just for,
I can make you one,
okay.
We can make
Yeah,
all
send
the-
it to me electronically too, if you don't mind.
and that way you've got that, and you can just
Yeah,
pull in and zoom in on that.
yeah,
All right? Okay.
yeah, appreciate it. Other than that, I don't have anything.
I've got just a couple of things under old stuff, just the recycling guy, talked to him yesterday, Tim.
What's that?
Tim, the recycling, Tim the tool man. It went really good, he said almost completely full.
Good.
And he took,
I stopped by and asked him how it was going.
he said, when he fall off and man, the stuff out there, he goes, "Whew," he goes, I wasn't expecting this for day one. Then he went over to the jail and he gets this stuff just piled up everywhere. He said, that wasn't what I was expecting. I said, it's not gonna be that way all the time, during my site there right now.
Do you get the hallway stuff then?
Yeah,
Or the stairwell stuff?
oh, yeah,
Okay. So
First
that's
day.
gone then.
first day on job.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like, oh, boy. So, the other question, what happened yesterday on the mayor and CDS and somebody's gonna call, where are we stand on that? What is going on?
I had Stephanie in the room whenever we.
I heard you say
Yeah,
mayor's on
we
the phone.
talked to, what was her name?
Heather.
Heather.
You're never
And
calling, sure.
she was very nice, and she said basically it was just something on in-house. It was,
They switched servers
yeah.
to add
So-
more security.
She said they don't really have a contract, or we don't have a contract. We can change anytime.
Probably one is gone.
And so if we want to give them a 30-day notice, we've already decided to let Mayor go with, not Mayor, CDS go with the website. So,
Why didn't they call you and tell you that? That's what you tell
I don't know.
They- yeah,
That's a good
I don't know.
question.
Kind of like a surprise
Because
attack.
it's got
I don't
everybody's
know. I
computer
think part of
messed
it is COVID, but we all have experience in COVID and working from home, but I don't know. But anyway,
Well,
here's what Ryan told me is that they of course, they've been charging us $300 a month for a website that we don't have with them at that time.
That they haven't been
They said that
hosting.
they would credit
Credit
us
us,
that 3,600.
Yeah.
Sure.
And for, if I'm not mistaken, 1,800, they would go ahead and either apply 1,800 to either rebuilding or correcting. I'm not quite certain about that. Do you know, you have any update on
He
that?
said he's gonna put a new one up.
Okay,
So for the same price they would do it for. And he's either credit that back, this was like 2 weeks ago, he's either credit that back
yeah.
all the way back from last year, what he owes us, he said no problem.
So we've
I,
already,
I mean, but in the last meeting, we talked about sending a letter, have we sent mayor a letter?
no,
Mm-mm.
no.
Well, we're looking at.
And so we need to, she said it's not really required, but I'd say
Let me
let's go
tell you.
ahead and send it.
That was twice, put it in writing, or an email,
Yeah.
and copy maybe her. You send an email, copy her, at least something in writing.
Well, I think it needs to come from the board.
Yeah, or all, I don't care, everybody sign it.
Yeah.
But they need to like, move on down the road.
So we'll just say, I don't know, whatever, however you want to say, however you want to phrase
Just
it.
say, hey, you give them 30-day notification, what do you say? Just, this is the.
This is notification.
Notification that we're.
Yeah, and I'd keep it as, just as brief and
Brief.
simple,
Simple.
succinct as possible, you know?
And CDS has enough time between now and the elections to
We-
get this done.
Something like, we'll,
Well,
this is a 30-day notice that, you know, we-
I hope
no longer need to.
Okay, so what I'm
the
saying is,
CDS needs to start working on it because we've got an election coming
because
up.
we have an election coming up, so
Yeah,
do they have
He,
enough time?
he did tell me it was gonna take some time to drag over all of the stuff from mayor, but
As
I
long
think
as,
you need to let mayor know who's taking it over so they know who they're.
as long as
working
they
with.
won't cooperate. Last time they didn't want to cooperate. Now, if they don't cooperate, Brandon, I'm just telling you, experience here with these such roads. You pick the phone up and you tell them, by God,
Well,
that's that.
and you're exactly right, because obviously, if there's gonna be, you want this to be seamless as possible, especially this upcoming election.
Last time wasn't the same.
and she did say on the phone yesterday that we just needed to let her know who was taking over so that
Yeah.
that way they could work together, so.
the funny thing of it
We'll
was,
see.
we both noticed the same thing. She made no attempt to try to retain us.
Mm-mm.
Well, I know about it twice. They didn't get, they
I'm
didn't.
like, well, we hate to see you go, or are we really, you know,
I mean, it's already
Want
been
you to
paid for
stay,
both
or-
sides.
I don't know if it's a new environment. Tim and I've been dealing with yet another nightmare with LexisNexis, our provider.
Oh, no.
In the old days, they used to wine and dine you. They'd bring you
Yeah.
stuff. They tell you can't get anyone to even call you back anymore.
yeah.
And I threatened to say, I'm leaving you. They don't care.
They couldn't care less.
Well, with the fact, I mean, I know the guy you talked to, and that sounds like she doesn't really care one way or another. Why don't you try this? Why don't you just send an email and say,
What
you
is
know,
it?
that we're going to
That election's in April.
April.
make a move, and you say, yes, it didn't matter. So if we don't have to give 30 days, and
So we have
as
roughly,
long as it's in writing.
we have just under 2 months before the April election.
Well, you need to let CDS know too, so that they can start working on whatever.
No, I understand, but I mean, that's why I wanted 30-day notice. We voted on this last month. We're times of the essence right now, so it needs to happen like today. But if she told him,
Okay.
let me ask you legally, if she told him that it doesn't matter, based on what I'm hearing, it doesn't matter if you get 30 days or not, you still go ahead and give 30 days and you send an email or say, you say, yes, it doesn't matter about 30 days. You've got to get them in writing somehow.
I mean, you could, if you wanted to reference her saying it doesn't matter, therefore we take it as, this is effective.
Well, she didn't say it doesn't matter.
Okay.
She just didn't
All right.
make it an effort to try to retain us.
No,
She said we didn't have to give them 30-day notice.
Oh, that's
yeah,
right.
that's
Yeah,
what-
okay,
that's
you're
what-
right.
She said
You're
they
right.
just need something in
You're
writing,
exactly right.
So
letting
you
them
just send an
know.
email, so you just say, do
Yes.
you need a 30 days notice? And then she will have to reply.
Or just say, to confirm what you said, right?
Yeah.
Right, to
To
confirm what you
what
said.
was-
For a conversation.
Yeah.
Should
Right.
you talk to CDS and see how long it takes them to get things turned up, put on their site or whatever they need to do so that we're not down?
Second option would be wait to do all this till right after the election.
If you go down on an election, you get problems, and those people are notorious for it.
So,
We're already messed up though, and I think it needs to be fixed. I mean, you guys have already voted on this.
Right,
It's
we already
in the
voted
paper.
on
I thought it was done.
So you might as well do it. I mean,
Okay,
I don't
let's
know
just
why
go ahead and
we're
do it
waiting,
then.
but we just need to
All
get
right.
it done.
We'll get that, we'll draft a letter, and then we'll get the board decided, because it's a board decision. And we'll send it to them, a hard letter. I think it's better, and we'll send them an email. as
Well, and I can even scan the letter and
Yeah, scan the
email
letter
it
and
over
send
to them.
Yeah, so,
And then in the meanwhile, tell Ryan or whoever to get going. What they gotta do.
Yeah.
Like, same time, let her go if they go. Now, they don't cooperate, I'm telling you, I've been down this road with them, you're gonna have to turn the heat up on them. Hate to tell you that, but I wish I'd had, I wish I had.
Go beat that drum,
Drop
aren't
the
you?
hammer.
I wish I had turned the last 2 times I dealt with them, because I'm on a personal matter, I'm telling you. But, last thing I guess is Tim seems to be scratching his head a little bit in the Walker Bluff deal, so
Well, I was just telling Jim before the meeting, we're going to have to have an actual board meeting to find out where all 3 of us are at
that's what I
on
did.
this.
That's what they told us.
I asked Brandon to look at our agreement to find out whether or not we have utilities and all these things included. And right now, I'm really questioning whether or not anything other than a road was actually in that agreement.
I will tell you what Greg Smutter said, and Tim Hurd said. It's the road. Period.
No, and I agree, and I think that's always Tim playing both devil's advocate here, some of the language in that does reference some ancillary things, and that was the question, is an interpretation. For example, does a water tower include anything, because there is some sewage issues and water infrastructure references. When you look at the exhibit, what is it, Exhibit A today?
Exhibit
Post-community
B.
agreement. Now, obviously, I think we could make the argument that no, that shouldn't be included, but at some point, do we want to?
I think the tower and the sewer are more related to the casino itself and to the hotel itself and possibly the water park itself.
Right.
Not to the road.
Well, now, and the thing is that the way I perceive it, the water line, the sewer line, and all those other infrastructure pieces are development issues. They're not road issues. And the reason why is that once they're put in, they're going to belong to a municipality of some sort that they can charge tapping fees, connection fees, everything else. The road is different.
Yeah.
That's not owned by
That's
the
a very good
municipality.
point.
And so I think everything else is development.
So that was my thought, if we just maybe get that early on, like right now, before.
I'd like to have
before
this
April.
solved.
Just say, we're taking the position that is not part of the roadway, that's and then see what see what happens from there.
I think the road itself, based on talking to IDOT at the beginning, there's people, 7.5, 8 million. Now, if there's 2 million left over, we can decide what we want to do with that. Okay.
You under the agreement, right, have that.
We agreed to 10, I could play you tape after tape, 10 million cap. Okay, that's what we agreed to. It's hard enough to sell, to say you're building a road in another county, okay? Now, then you're gonna get into the part, as we've said, now I'm gonna pull the tape, I told Tim, pull the tape, make his life a lot easier. And Stephanie Wills said, time and time again, we have said that it's gonna be paid for by gaming revenue. Okay, not now, not after you just finish it, by gaming revenue generated. Those are the tricky spots. So, I'll just, last meeting we had or meeting for whatever, I'm gonna go back to what I visualized Tony sitting there and the board, we agreed at that time, but we talked at the team, y'all voted no on that because that's not what we agreed to. So Tony would have a meeting with us once a month with the engineer and the 3 of us only. Okay? Now, if you have a sidebar meeting, I'm just going to tell you, only one commissioner.
Just one.
Right.
Okay, because the Open Meetings Act is because that is, but I'm telling you, we need Tony, all the stuff we're talking about right now, we need Tony's face right out there in front of us.
Well,
Because you're going to get caught up in
and I have a Zoom meeting with Tony tomorrow. And I believe what I'm going to tell him is that we're going to have a sit down.
I'll get you that, I'll send you that thing.
We're going to have a sit down meeting because we're going to have to deal with this at some point.
Right, there's things on this list that are not, we're taking the position that we shouldn't be on the hook for lack of a better.
And I would
Exactly.
recommend that if Tony was to call and just want to meet with you, one-on-one, I wouldn't meet with him by myself.
Yeah.
Always have somebody, have Travis with you, have
No.
someone else
Well,
with you.
tomorrow's Zoom meeting, we'll have Travis.
Jim, anybody.
Shit, no,
I
boys.
think Tony likes these meetings with just that team so that he can avoid the Open Meetings Act and have it recorded. I think though, we need to have, like what we set it up, a meeting once a month, at least once a month. Here it is already February of the new year, with the full board.
We need
on
one
record.
next week. We need
And
one
then
next
we
week.
need one next week. And then also another thing, when you were talking about how this road was gonna be paid for with gaming revenues. The host agreement says, there's in Exhibit B, it says that we are required to pay 90 days after substantial completion on the road. So once it's substantially complete, 90 days, we have to write him a check. And that's gonna be in advance of any gaming revenues that's gonna come in.
Okay, as I'm saying, the agreement was gaming revenue, so, Tony one time said, and I never talked to Tony unless Greg was on the phone on three-way, because quite honestly, I don't believe what he says, okay? And so he specifically said, well, I can always float the loan, and, you guys can pay it back whenever you start generating that revenue. That was one thing he said. There were many things he said. And Greg could just go, he's on every conversation. There's no way I talk to that man for myself.
Well, the exhibit says what the exhibit says. I mean, to me, that's pretty clear, and I think you've read through it. And I think that's pretty clear. At some point, we're gonna have to pay that money before gaming revenues come in.
Then you'd be talking about borrowing money. And we did a bond on the jail, but we were told not to do a bond on something like this. When you borrow money, do the PTO, we're gonna borrow $401,500 if you borrow from an institution like a bank. So,
That's where the non-recourse loan.
and the non-recourse probably run 5, 6, 7, 8, 9%, which is ridiculous. So, I don't know. And we don't know about the
So
10 million from the state, for sure, we're gonna get that.
So for these
Those are-
reasons,
Yeah.
we need to have a meeting and have it out in the open, and we need to discuss this stuff and get it settled.
But it's in the capital bill, for sure. Now,
Yeah.
what's that mean? Couldn't tell you. So,
And we haven't heard it from Department of Revenue or anybody on disbursement or anything of that nature.
The disbursement has, what we're hearing through back channel, I guess the best way to say it, through back channels, unofficially, is that, and I can forward you an email that I got, that the Department of Transportation does not fund, after the project is completed. They don't fund if their bidding guidelines are not adhered to. And they have other policies that they have to have, that you have to follow in order to get money from them. So that's another thing that needs to be discussed.
Are we sure that this loan would come through, or the grant would come through IDOT?
Well,
Okay.
it specifically says in the act that it's coming from the road fund. And that is IDOT money, according to what I've been told.
see, at the beginning, according to your legislators, they said, no, this is a separate deal, it comes straight to Wagener County. IDOT's over on this side. Now, Greg said yesterday, IDOT always finds a way.
So from what I'm hearing you right though, but everybody's saying is get Baxter in here in front of the full board. and-
We need to know how much this thing's gonna cost.
Get them on Zoom.
I don't know, he can even tell you.
Let's, how much it's gonna cost. Let's figure out whether or not our utilities are included in this or not. Find out what bidding processes we're gonna have to go through in order to ensure that we get the grant through IDOT, which nobody can tell me that. And believe me, we're asking. Once we have unanswered questions.
I have a person that I think can get this thing going quicker. For the phone call, but I'll find out where we stand. So I'll have to do that.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe any, at this point.
I mean, at this point, I think I might just get a lifeline and let him call up.
Call a friend.
So I
Talk
have-
to the,
I have talked to our state rep. He is anxious to help us navigate this through the state. But once again, we just need to know where to start.
Right.
Dan Reed's been the lobbyist, and you talk to Dan, he says one thing, you talk to Mel, says this, and one of the main person is with Jay Hoffman. Okay, he's the one put in the bill. Terry Bryant was the one that talked the most, and she did a good job, except the language is screwed up. The first night they were gonna run it, they said, the money's going to Jackson County. I'm like, wrong, so, but they got it done, but now what does that mean? With state, who knows? They can't come back and say we don't have the money, because they're getting ready to get $28 million for the license. But I think that phone a friend may have to happen.
Okay.
All right.
I think we're right there.
Well,
You think
you'll
we're
set,
there too, so
set that meeting up.
I'll set that meeting up tomorrow.
Yeah, anytime next week's fine.
We have, Monday off, so
What in the world?
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
Monday.
Monday will be available.
You probably have to check Tony's schedule, because he's all over the place.
Right, I'll have to offer him some days.
Yeah, he's,
Uh,
I don't care.
Tuesday, Wednesday afternoon, Thursday, Friday.
I have no idea.
Tuesday all day?
Tuesday all day.
I have a board meeting, on another board I'm on, but it'll just be from noon to probably 1:30. So if it's any time in the morning, that should be fine.
Wednesday afternoon?
And Wednesday afternoon, I believe is fine on my end. Yes.
And then Thursday?
Right.
Thursday and Friday.
I'm getting the second vaccine Thursday afternoon, so I've got my calendar saying I don't know what I'm gonna be like.
So morning, okay.
Right.
I can't tell you what.
Afternoon and Friday, you're off.
Right.
Okay.
You might be good, might be bad, you never know.
Okay, well, that's given us plenty of time to meet. We should be able to find a time that works for everybody then. Need a motion to adjourn?
Hold on, you guys, we're supposed to be meeting this afternoon, aren't you?
Oh, did Ashley ever say anything more about it? He was trying to get a hold of
I
it.
just checked the email and Coonan never wrote back that I could tell.
Well, it's trying to, because
All right.
when I see him, he came down the hallway, so I don't know if he ever said any more. Did he say more to you?
Mm-mm. I just got that email.
I checked right before I came over here again.
Let me see.
Hey, can you meet right after this real quick about that hearing
Yeah.
this afternoon? Thank you.
Hey, it's 1 o'clock, still on, back here. So we can reconvene. Okay. All right.
11.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock?
Is it?
All right.
I assume he's calling in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So reconvene at
So we're
1.
gonna recess and reconvene at 1 o'clock.
Motion.
I'll make a motion to recess, reconvene at 1 o'clock.
Hearing this afternoon, Amanda. and I.
Marlis,
Yeah.
Britton Gentry.
Yes.
Jim Atchison.
Sound like a real blast to me.
Good meeting.
Hey, you just have fun at that meeting, man. You and Amanda have fun.